Okay, so our last panelist, Cristina Fogazzi, a veteran of our stage. Cristina Fogazzi is the founder of Reform, which is well known on the market as Veralab and Estetista Cinica. I deemed it useful to specify. Okay. So easy questions. Okay. Fine. I don't know why I'm always on stage. I'm sort of a pink chair. So can you please start by summarizing your story? We all know it in general, but we would like to hear it from you. Well, the story is 5 years ago. I'm not sure about the number of years. I had a beauty salon, and I decided to create a brand throughout an outsourcing a line of products which I wanted to sell in my beauty salon. And I started by creating a Facebook page, and I published some comic strips, and I started with 4 lotions being sold in my beauty salon. So that was the beginning of the story. And the brand was Veralab, right? Yes, the brand was Veralab, not Estetista Cinica. And then in that moment, the influencer marketing started to develop. There was a real boom of influencer marketing. So from Facebook, we went on to Instagram, and the stories on Instagram were created. And we had the opportunity to show how our products were developed. I'm an expert in lotions and beauty, and I put all of my skills on social networks, and this is how the business grew. I started online, and then they convinced me to try in the retail market, and we extended our position on the retail market. What do you mean by retail market? Physical shops? I have 2 shops, one in Milan, not in the center of Milan, in Via Guido d'Arezzo, and then one in Rome, in Via Tomacelli, in the center of Rome. And I sell my products through Pinalli, who is a very important partner. And we opened a fund with our German partners in Venice. Do you have a corner at Rinascente and other drugstores? We always have corners. We also sell our products in some pharmacies. So you're a multi-channel. Is it a strategy, or is it an attempt? Well, our distribution will never be capillary. I want to buy my products in pharmacies with beauty sectors made in a certain way. I want a beauty corner which is made in a certain way, because I want to be able to explain my product the way I want, both online and offline. My identity, online identity, is very clear, and I don't want the offline reputation to impact on my online identity. Selling online is not only placing products on a website. The interface, what people do with my website, is vital. I would like to give you 2 pieces of data which are quite important. With our newsletter, I only send 1 newsletter once a month. There's no pop-up on my website inviting people to register for the newsletter, because it makes me nervous when I have 9 pop-ups before I see the product. 8 million euros for the newsletter, and the influencer 1.2 millions, and 12 millions for CNR. That means that after the newsletter, after 48 hours from the newsletter, there's a peak in your sales. Newsletter, 8 million per year, 12 millions CNR, and 1.2 millions that from influencers. What is the annual turnover for 2021? No, oh, come on, I'm not very good at maths, but we have 613,000 users per week. We have 468,000 new users per month. We're talking about per month? Yes, per month it specifies. So that means 60. I didn't give you the figures of the Black Friday and Christmas. Okay, so 60 is just an estimate of the actual figures, which will be larger, right? We're talking about the first 6 months of 2021. We do not offer any discount for Black Fridays in our physical shops. This physical retail thing is really a surprise for me, because we've got 2 shops, Milan and Rome. What's this area? We have 130 square meter shop in Rome. Our shop is a little bit larger in Milan, but our flagship for Milan on the 30th of June was 170,000 euros in Milan, only in Milan. 140,000 in Rome. But these are figures which are additional to the online figures. I found out that a lot of people following me on the social media have never bought my products. And so that's where the shop comes into play, where the money vans come into place. We are in a difficult moment. Ours was an experiment. So this is something which we did on the spur of the moment. So we will see how it goes. So if everything goes well, will you open other shops or just stay in Milan or Rome? Maybe we'll open a new shop in Florence, but nothing else. So now, Pinalli, pharmacies, how many doors do you have now? 112. These figures have doubled over the last year. So 4 million turnover sales in the first 6 months. My shops are toys. So your ideas is just a few shops, and the rest of the business is online. We've got shops which are based on experience. We've got mirrors. This is some sort of an entertainment at the Disney World, let's say. So what you want is to explain your products. I'm not interested in seeing my products on all the shops' shelves. I want my product to be on the right shelves. Do you think that this Estetista Cinica and Veralab distinction creates confusion? Well, relatively. I hope that Veralab wins so I can take longer holidays, and my partners have been working very well. So now you've got two Instagram accounts, Veralab and Estetista Cinica. Do you appear on both accounts? No, not on the Instagram account. So with Veralab, you want your personality to be taken out of the brand. And so, because I want to go abroad as well. So your brand is very centered, focused on your person. How will you go on? Well, the keyword is values, the presence of values. A consumer chooses a brand for the underlying values it expresses. We gave a wide range of value to Veralab. Recycling, the connections with the world of art, human empowerment. They're not necessarily linked to my person. So these values are the legs Veralab will walk on. Cristina has nothing to do with that. So putting a brand on as many shelves as possible, that's not strategy. People sell products. Values sell a brand, not a shelf. So you're headed abroad with Veralab, okay? Yes, absolutely. Spain, France, Germany, England, they are our macro targets. We're trying to understand what's going to happen with COVID, and we're trying to analyze the data regarding Italy because our story is very short. We had an estimate for growth, but growth was much larger than we expected. So we had to make sure that we had supplies for Black Friday, for example, or for Christmas. But our growth was so fast online that we were not able to plan manufacturing because it is very, very difficult to forecast your sales online. Because if you have a retailer, you have an order by a retailer, you can make an estimate. But with the online, you get out of stock. We've got a product which is called Golden Hour, and it is specific for tanning. And we ran out of stocks 3 times this year. And now only retailers have Golden Hour. The product is completely sold out. For us, it is very complicated. I've got 60 employees, let's say, and you're based in Milan, right? Yes. We're getting crazy. Do not ask me what we're going to do in the next years because we're only trying to make it to December alive and have the products for the next Black Friday. That's our short-term goal. Have you got in touch with equities, funds, and so on and so forth? Yes, but we're not interested now. We have had an EBITDA, which was stellar, 33%. So 1/3 of your turnover remains in your hands. We do not really need somebody. You're working on the structure, right? Yes, our general director did a miracle, because we were basically a group of people and we became a company, an enterprise, a business. And it was completely crazy. We have no opportunity to plan. It's fantastic to have retailers because you know how much you need to actually manufacture, to produce. But online, it's a completely different world because you do estimates, you have forecasts. But for example, our historical trends are very complicated because we're very young and because there's been a lockdown for the last 2 years. So it is very, very complicated to make forecasts on these figures. We're trying to understand how the market works, what the situation is. The order procedure is very complicated. You can count a number of sessions, the number of users, and you can make an estimate of which percentage of users actually purchase products and make forecasts. But this is very general. We have a huge limit because we had only one provider. Now we are a multi-provider company. And we're working with third-party partners, but the growth was so fast that we had to work overnight. We basically worked during the nights because we went from 1 million to 9 million to 27 millions. Who would have figured such a growth? And our manufacturers had to actually manufacture the products. I had a very small logistics network, and I had to organize something which was on a completely different scale. Now our logistics network is not internal anymore, and there are 100 people working in our network, and we had 4 people dealing with the logistics at the beginning. Just think of that. So if you wanted to classify sales, what are your most successful product categories? We do skincare. We would like to have another axis in the future, but I will not reveal which one it is. Are you talking about skincare or fragrances? Well, skincare is seasonal because in March, April, women forget they want to show their legs, and then in October, they basically forget about their legs altogether. And for example, these draining stripes are a big success today. And they were telling me no one will ever apply that at home. I say, of course they'll do. So you have these tissue stripes, which you have to imbibe into a liquid. And the first order was for 50 stripes altogether. When we launched the product, in 3 hours, we had 187 orders. That's where we understood we had to structure our activities a little bit better. Now, of course, we're all envious because otherwise it wouldn't be a case history. But what are your main concerns for the next 3 years? What will you focus on in the next 3 years? Well, to consolidate the brand, because everyone is asking themselves, how long will it last? And I would like to be able to answer, we're still here in 3 years' time. Okay, so we'll meet again here in 3 years' time and see what you've done. Thank you again, and congratulations. Thanks to you. Okay, thank you all for your attention. We're running a little bit late. I hope it was interesting. I would like to thank once again all the participants here in Milan and online. See you soon.